Hey everyone, Dale Bible with the Greater Houston German Shepherd Dog Rescue Organization. Today I'd like to answer some questions that we often get about what makes a rescue dog different from a pet store dog or a shelter dog. Why should I adopt a dog from your organization? And a lot goes on behind the scenes in our organization that I think a lot of people just aren't exposed to and don't know all that we do before we ever put a dog on our webpage. So I think it's beneficial if you're looking at a dog for you to have that information. We're going to try to answer a few of the basic questions here and help you understand what we do behind the scenes as an organization and why you should look at us when you're considering a German Shepherd dog for adoption. We have an assessment team that goes out to the shelters and actually interacts with the dogs. These are people who are very knowledgeable and very experienced in their area. Most of the people who are doing our assessments have been with our organization for 10 plus years. That's what they do all year long, every year, all year long. That's what they do. They're going out, they're spending their time, and they're interacting with these dogs. The background and the knowledge and the experience that they have focusing on a specific breed, in our case the German Shepherd dog, they know what they're doing. I mean, when they go in and they do their assessments, they are what makes our organization successful. Because if it wasn't for their expertise, they go in and they actually physically interact with the dogs. They touch them. They bring toys to see how the dogs interact with toys. They do food aggression tests, how the dogs interact with other animals, with people. They're doing pretty detailed stuff that you're just typically the average dog buyer going to the pet store to get a dog for their kids, that what we would typically do. They're going to do more than the average person would do on assessing the dog's personality. And what they're really looking for are the dog's physical, medical needs, as well as their how they interact with people and other animals. Because what we don't want, we have a limited number of foster homes. What we don't want is to take every pretty, eye-appealing German Shepherd dog that's found at a shelter and bring them into our foster homes and then find out that they have personalities that are just never going to get along with people or other dogs, and they're not going to be adopted, because that would clog up our foster homes and we would not be able to save as many dogs as we otherwise could. So our assessment team is the biggest reason that you should look at our organization, because the dogs that come into our system are already pre-screened from people who really know what they're doing. Once the assessment team gives the organization the green light that this dog is certainly capable of adapting and fitting into a home and becoming part of a family, our organization takes the dog to a veterinarian clinic where its medical needs are assessed. Whatever medical needs the dog has are taken care of by our organization. In addition to the medical needs, we also pay for the microchipping of the dog, which you will be on that account. And we also pay for the dog to be spayed or neutered if the dog hasn't already had that procedure done. Once the dog's released from the medical facility, the veterinarian clinic, it's placed with one of our fosters. Our fosters, they don't just bring the dog home and let it live there for a couple weeks. Typically, the dog will spend several weeks getting its weight. The most common thing we see from dogs picked up off the streets and placed in a shelter, obviously they're underweight, and their hair is normally in shambles just from obviously not being bathed and taken care of. So while our foster is adding weight, feeding them, giving them a good diet, they're also socially interacting in that home. In my case, I've got two of my own German Shepherds. I've got a cat. We've got children in and out of the house. And so the German Shepherd that we are fostering at any given time, they're getting exposure to all these things, and we're watching how they interact and how they work with other dogs, with people, with children, in my case with cats. We're also crate training the dog. So typically when you get a dog from us, the housebreaking issues are already taken care of. A lot of the little bumps in the road that you would otherwise have to go through are taken care of before you even get the dog. The biggest thing, which I say for last, the biggest thing that I see in the dogs that come through my home, I also foster, is the gratitude that the dogs have. You know, I go to people's houses a lot who have these little spoiled pets, you know, whether they be cats or dogs, you know, little dog or cat that just sits across the room and could care less. You know, the owner wants to play or pet it or give it attention, and it's just sitting over there, could care less. I've not seen that as the norm in the dogs that come through our rescue. Most of these dogs have had little or no attention or love from any family. They're typically picked up off the streets. We occasionally get an owner turn in where someone is relocating for a job or a family member dies and they just can't take, the remaining family can't take care of the dog. But most of what we get are shelter dogs. They've not had a family show them love. And so when they come into your home, uh, I've not seen a single one sit in the corner and be the little spoiled brat dog. They are going to be the most loving little dog you've ever had. I say little, German Shepherd's typically a large dog, but their gratitude for bringing them into your home, you're going to see it every day. And we can't put a price tag on that, and it's not on a medical checklist. But I would take that, you know, any day of the week as a number one reason. Our dogs are going to be thrilled to death that someone actually cares and someone is bringing them into their home. So I hope this answers some of your questions about what goes on and the number of man hours that are invested by dedicated volunteers. Every single person in our organization is a volunteer from the top to the bottom. The only thing any of us get in this organization is the feeling of saving another German Shepherd dog. And so everyone in this group loves dogs. When you're talking to someone in our organization, you're talking to someone that is so dedicated and so concerned for the welfare of these German Shepherd dogs that they're taking time out of their busy lives to actually help save these animals. So I hope you'll look at our organization, and I appreciate you taking the time. You're already showing that you're the type of person that we want to adopt our dogs because you're taking the time to watch this video, you're doing your homework, you're doing your research. You probably have already narrowed down the type of dog, in this case German Shepherd, that you're looking to adopt. That's way more than a lot of people do who just, their children want a dog and they rush to the pet store and buy a dog having no idea of what all's involved. So hopefully this answers some of your questions, and hopefully you'll look at us and your choice to adopt a German Shepherd dog. Thank you for your time.